Good evening. This is the Home Doc. I'm just getting ready to do some priming on the excavator body. And I said, well, let me go ahead and take a little video to kind of show you some steps that I take, in prepping, because the prepping is the key to any type of good paint job. I mean, if you have, if it's not prepped right, the paint will start peeling and popping, and it will come right off, and it'll just look bad. It won't. Their finish won't look good, and you could tell that the prep wasn't done well. So let me show you some of the tools that I've used to get to this point, and then we'll go through some of the details that I kind of tape up and use scrap rags and newspaper and plastic to kind of cover up before I start painting, so you won't have any overspray. I definitely don't want to overspray on my brand new tracks. I mean, I got brand new tracks there that I put on, and I don't want to have overspray on those. So, but let me show you some of these tools that I use. I use this blue tape. It's not as much adhesive as like this here, the regular masking tape, and I use that mostly for areas that's already been painted already. Or details, like this here areas and the keyholes. Just kind of tape them up good and tape them tight, real tight around, and not messy. You don't want to have any type of, you have a nice sharp edge, because you'll see it, and when you paint and prime, you'll see that edge, and you want to make sure it's tight, close to what you're trying to tape. And also, you want to have plenty of rags. Rags I use for cleaning, and especially on something like this heavy piece of equipment, you have a lot of grease. And I've been using acetone after I sanded the whole body, and I did this basically just a touch primer with a red oxide primer, and went in there, and then I just did a sanding with this DA sander. These like an Orbital sander, but it's a pneumatic. And I used 80 grit sand paper pads there. So, and I have a couple of them there that have different grits. But I use 80 grit for primer, and then when I use the paint, I'll probably do a little bit like maybe a 120, 180 grit, paper before I put the paint on. And also I used this grinder here for the major areas that have a lot of scarring. Right in here, it's kind of real scarred up. So I use that sanding wheel to knock that, to kind of smooth it out. Now this priming is not going to be perfect, but I'll show you how I paint and prime. And you just got to basically, just like anytime you're painting, I'm just using a spray can. Just take even strokes, press, spray, and a little release. And just don't let it keep going out, because you don't have any runs. But use that, and then after I DA sand everything, then I blow it off with an air gun. Try to get all that dust off. You want to get all your dust and everything off, because you'll see that dust in your primer. So you want to get all that off. And then after you do that, then you go back, and I'm thinking I'm jumping around a little bit, but you want to go back with the acetone, and it cleans the project residue. It takes all the adhesives, the grease, the resins. It takes everything off of the body, so you won't have any type of, when a primer, it will stick really good in here, because your main purpose here is to make sure it adheres good. And especially on any type of, even vehicles. I've sprayed painted cars and, trucks and trailers and all kinds of stuff. You just want to prep it really good. And sometimes you might think you're going overboard on prepping, but it's always better to do a great prepping job than not to, because it's going to pay dividends in the long run. And also, like in this area here, this is where actually it was really greasy, and you can see where I sanded it really good, and I took that acetone with the rags, and I wiped all in here real good, and around all of the fittings, and the hoses I wrapped with newspaper, and then I took and I put some tape, the blue tape around that piece there that holds the kingpin in. And the hoses coming up here, I've taped, and also I used some of the rags to kind of cover the hoses. You can see right in here, where I cover the hoses. So when I start priming, the overspray won't get on them. But I'm just going to basically spray it right in here. I'm not going to worry about the arm, because it's not in that bad of a shape at all. that's fine. I just wanted to get this main body done and get that, so it'll be easier in the long run. I mean, it's always good to maintain your equipment because you can, when you do sell your equipment, you can get top dollar for it. A lot of times, people, they see it's been taken care of, well maintained. They want to give you more money for it. So it's a great benefit. It pays dividends, especially on heavy equipment. But let me show you how I spray. So let me. This is the best place. I might go here, and I'll set the tripod. I got a tripod here. Let me set this down. Sorry, it's a little shaky, but let me sit. I'll sit you down here, and I got my work clothes on. So, but I bring it a little bit closer, so you can kind of see how I move my hand and my arm while I'm spraying. And I think these tools up pretty well before I started the video. But yeah, basically when you spray, it's best to take these even strokes, man. You don't want to go like that. You kind of want even strokes on it. And now this is just like I say, just some primer out of a spray can. And what it does though, it kind of keeps the surface because you prepped it good before, so it keeps it nice. And then also you can see if you need any Bondo or any kind of filler in some spots that have dents, and it kind of protects it from rusting. And I'll show you after I finish this that I've been working on a Telehandler, and I've been prepping it and getting it ready, and getting ready to paint. But it takes time. I mean, the painting part, like I said before, is easy. And then I come over here so I can spray this. But that's kind of how I spray, and don't have any runs or anything like that. And it makes a nice, clean-looking job. But so that's. But see, you kind of move around. You don't want to stay in one spot, because if you do, you're going to have some runs. So you want to make sure you kind of just jump around a little teeny bit, and then you can come back to the place you just sprayed, and it won't. It'll stick and it won't run. So now coming back here, coming up here again, and then I'm not trying to get it all at one time, Okay, well, I think you've seen the point of that. I don't want to paint that. So you can see, I couldn't see that, but there's a little, needs some Bondo, needs some filler in some spots, but it's not that bad, though. And it had a lot of decals and everything on here also that I took off and sanded those down and got rid of those because it's hard to paint over, paint around decals and everything, and they're just kind of scarred up. You can buy new decals if you want them. But let me show you my Telehandler that I got ready and basically been working on, and kind of give you an update. If you've been following my channel, you'll see where I've been working on it, and to give you a little update of it. But I got the tires back on it, and I got I basically painted everything underneath there black. So I don't know if you can see too good, but everything is painted black under there. I got a new throttle cable put in. We put new fuel filters, fuel screen, oil, did an oil change on it, and got all that done. And but like I say, I got everything kind of prepped, ready for paint. And that's a red oxide primer. And I won't paint. This part here is going to be Caterpillar yellow, and then down here is going to be all black, black down in that bottom part. And then over here, I'm going to keep this black right here. So I've got the seat I'm working on the seat now. Actually, my dad's working on the seat, getting the slides greased up and getting this, just getting it cleaned up and back to where it needs to be. And then we got this fixed, the handbrake. That's all good now. We got the brakes working now. We got that working. And then also we got the throttle, which I want to start it up in a minute, and I'll show you. And that's really nice. It was tight. And actually, this pedal, my dad actually looked at it, and the spring wasn't in the right position. So now it's really got some spring back on the pedal. And then I got my gauges up here now. I got, and I'm waiting on a tachometer on this side. I got it ready to go. Got it all drawn out and everything, but that's coming. And my fuel gauge is going there. And then I have my for my lights. I got some halogen lights that I got that I want to put on here, and that's coming. But got the forward and reverse done. We got the four-wheel drive steering working. The four-wheel steering, that's working. I'll show that to you in a minute. And I put that truck bed paint that I like that stuff too, man. I mean, I know it had several trailers, a dump trailer video that I've used it on. But what I did with this, I used a flat black Rust-Oleum first and painted everything flat black, and then I came back with that truck bed paint. And you can see it's got a nice texture to it. And it's dusty. I mean, it's a little dusty here because I've been sanding on an excavator. But it's got a nice finish. And you can see where, I prepped it. I mean, I prepped it really good. It's nice and smooth. And my previous, one of those first videos before I started working on this thing, you could see where it was all, and actually you can see right here. I mean, I haven't finished all this part here, but, I'm kind of putting some of that rust gel neutralizer on there and getting it kind of the rust neutralized. But got that going. And then I got the fuel. We put the fuel out, cleaned that, and filtered it, and put that back on. And got the bumper hooked all up. And let me get the light here real quick. But I did the whole undercarriage. I did it all black. Everything's flat. It's actually flat black. And it's kind of a first for me. Usually I use glossy, like a gloss, semi-gloss black. But I like flat black a whole lot better. You're actually able to, you don't sew any brush strokes. It's like that right there. That's flat black right there. And it looks great. And I got the fuses all redone. Did all that. I got the fuse cover back on. Got the bumper ready to go. That's all, bondoed up and bondoed up here. I need to do a little bit more bondo here, right in that area. But that's ready. And also got the battery hooked up here, and I got the hydraulic. I pumped that out, put brand new filters. There was actually a filter up here on top that was dirty, and we cleaned that. And also we changed put a new filter, a hydraulic filter down here. So it's new. And then back here in the back, we're going to put a battery box back here. But to come to find out, the starter it wouldn't start with the starter because it didn't have enough torque. And it was I think it was a Lucas starter. And from experience, a Lucas starter is just not a very good starter. It cranked over, but it just didn't have the torque to really get it going. So we put got a brand new starter for it, and also the alternator. The alternator wasn't charging. So this is charging now, and I can tell now because of the gauges. I got the gauges on there, so you can tell that everything's charging good. And I got a work box I'm going to weld to the top of that. But let me start this up, and then I don't want this video to go too long. And I'll show you, and like I say, I'll probably be showing you another video after everything's done. But and please subscribe to my channel and hit the like button and notifications. And I've, like I say, I've done a lot of things like this. I enjoy doing it. My dad does too, and we just kind of like making things better and new again, So, and I still got to do some more work, on the arm and all that. But let me bring it like this so you can see the four-wheel steering on it and all that. And I'll show you how it starts up really good now. So, battery switch. Okay, so I got the ignition switch on. I hit the button here, and I got you can see there that the glow light and the glow plugs are lit. And then, pressure gauge. Oil is over 80 pounds. The system's over 13 volts, so it's charging. The water temperature is nothing there yet, but you can check out the throttle. The throttle here. The throttle's working really good now. It was sticking before. I still got it's a little loud because I don't have the air filter and everything on, but that goes right in here. All right. Well, I hope you enjoyed the video, and like I say, please subscribe, and I thank you again for watching, and hopefully that this helps you with the prep and give you some ideas on doing the detailed work before you start painting or priming, because you'll definitely you'll see it in the finished product if you don't. But I don't know if you can tell there, but it looks pretty darn good for just the first coat. And I was going to probably put another coat on there after I do the whole machine. But yeah, it's going to be all right. But thanks again. I do appreciate you watching, and please subscribe and hit the notification button, and I'll catch you next time. Thanks. Bye-bye.